Hey, welcome to another episode of Dave's Imaginations. Today, we're going to do two things. First, we're going to go over 4 things I got wrong in the Dungeon Crawl Classics games I've played so far. Then, after that, I'm going to give you the second thing. The second thing is we're going to do a recap of last night's game of Sailors Under the Starless Sea that we played live on March 30th, Thursday, March 30th. So, both those things right after this. Stay with me. So first, got 4 things wrong. I have a list of 4 things I got wrong. So 4 things I got wrong: Spellburn, luck, a plate mail, check penalty, and opportunity text. First, Spellburn. If in attempting a Spellburn, the wizard temporarily expends points of his strength, agility, or stamina score to enhance his spell check. And that's on page 107. If I jump over to the book here and I go to page 107, here we can see it very clearly says, in attempting Spellburn, the wizard temporarily expends points from his strength, agility, stamina score to enhance his spell check. Now, I was letting him pull values from any of his attributes, which was indeed just not correct. So we fixed that last night. The second thing was regarding luck. And I've actually seen this played both ways. In the luck section, our luck is actually one of our ability scores. And if we scroll down on the ability scores, the 5th thing here, characters can make luck checks to attempt feats that succeed based on luck alone. The judge will provide the specifics of any attempt, but the attempt is usually resolved by rolling equal to or less than the character's luck score. So as you burn that luck and that your luck score gets lower, let's say if you might have started with a 9, but you've burnt 5 points, now your luck is 4. And if your judge says, "Oh, let's make a luck roll," you need to roll 4 or less to have that equal, to have that lucky thing happen. So I was using it as a modifier. So I would set a difficulty class. I told them to make a roll and add their luck modifier to come up. I think it's actually used both ways, but this is what the book says, so this is what we're going to use going forward. The next thing was the check penalty on armor. And in the equipment section of the Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game, 8th edition, we have the check penalty here, and it says very clearly, the check penalty applies to checks to climb, jump, balance, swim, move silently, and other physical activities. I was doing much worse. I was taking it like their agility had changed, their initiative went down. That was much more punishing than what this really is. It's really just for these few things, but that's how it's supposed to work. If you are wearing this plate mail, it's bulky and it reduces your ability to climb, jump, balance, swim, or move silently. Lastly is opportunity tax. Now my group is coming from Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and we have opportunity tax, right? So when you are battling, and if you try to run away, you would get an attack of opportunity. Or if you're in battle and enemy runs past you, you would get an attack of opportunity. And in this game, if you go to the first page, the first actual page, right, in the introduction, and you under the core mechanics, it says right here, how is this thing different from what we've played before? Well, Dungeon Crawl Classic role-playing does not have prestige classes, does not have attacks of opportunity, feats, or skill points. And so that's how we played it the first time, but we have later found that not entirely true. If you go to combat, they have a section on something called withdrawal. And in withdrawal, once a character is engaged in melee, he cannot back away without opening himself up to attack. If the character or monster withdraws from an active melee, whether to retreat or move to a new position or attack some other action, his opponents immediately receive a single free attack. Okay, 5th edition players. Does that sound familiar? I think so. I think maybe we have a nomenclature discrepancy here. This sounds very much like a opportunity attack to me. Maybe we're splitting hairs here. Maybe there's some other way attack of opportunity can occur in 5th edition that this doesn't cover, but this withdrawal, and this makes sense, right? I think last time we played, not Thursday the 30th, but previous to that, we were playing that you didn't get an attack of opportunity if you ran away. And I had players just there in the middle of it, and they just run away, and I didn't give my bad guy an attack of opportunity. That didn't feel right. This is where we're going to play it. All right, so that's Withdrawal. Withdrawal is the Dungeon Crawl Classic version of Attack of Opportunity. So those are the 4 things I got wrong. Perhaps you can tell me, how do you play those things? Do you play it strictly by the rules? I know Dungeon Crawl Classic is really a game master's friend, right? Game master, you can do whatever the heck you want. If you don't want attacks of opportunity in your game, you don't have to have them. How do you play it? Perhaps there's some other rule that is in contention. If you put that down below, I'd like to know. Maybe I got it wrong too. And if you watch our video, if you watch our live video, you're probably going to find some things we got wrong. If you do, give me a message. Send it to me, because I'm going to want to fix it. So let me know, or I'll research it at least and see if I want to do that. But now let's move on to our campaign. So we are in Sailors of the Starless Sea. This is the first part of that. We started last night as our crew had just survived Portal Under the Stars. Months had passed since their adventure into the Portal Under the Stars. So many were lost. Rumors abound. You could feel the whispers of people that point and stare at you. People admire, fear, and loathe you all at once. You are unsettled, restless. You have tasted adventure, and it haunts you. It calls for you. This is why your ears perked when a posse of townfolk from the neighboring village came calling for help. Their village had been struck by a rash of abductions. Their constable had formed a party and tracked the abductors to a keep just outside of town. Now it's been a week, and the constable has not returned, and worse, more people have gone missing. Now, word has spread that you adventurers, you may be able to help us. And so that is how we started our night. Of course, our five players, the caravan guard turned warrior, the turnip farm turned cleric named Philomena, the halfling glovemaker that has become a thief named Chip, Orthic, a dwarven chest maker, and Noting Elf, the wizard apprentice turned full-blown wizard. Our 5 player characters took on this challenge. Now, I called him, the person from the other village was led by a gnome. I used Reginald that I had used to create the character in my previous video. Reginald from the other village. He was the secretary of the estate, as the leadership has come down to him, and he has come. He's had enough. We need to fix this, and before more people go lost. And he brings a throng of people. This throng of people was just enough to give each of my players 2 more henchmen. I played Reginald, and he didn't last very long. All right, I don't play character. All right, he went in. He got crushed by a rock right away. Reginald, though, did have a map of the entire complex, and our players had a choice. They could storm the castle through the front door, or go around the back and climb up the rocky path, rock slide of a fallen wall, and they chose that. And our thief, our halfling, crawled up the rock and tested things that gave him a little bit of an advantage. I used the dice chain. The dice chain, you go up 1 die. In this case, they went from a 20 to 24 as they did their reflex saves. As boulders still fell, but they had a chance to do a reflex save to try to dodge these. In the end, I think we had 4 or 5 people that would have got squished. They used their luck to get around it, to get their reflex save up to the point where the falling boulder missed them. So I think everyone but Reginald made it into the keep, into the courtyard of the keep. And then from there, they found the plate in the ground where they found a tomb, and our wizard called upon his patron to see if it was safe. And the patron said, yes, it was. And for a little favor, yes, it was. And they went in, they found a sword and some other stuff. Another person tested the ground on the way to the big pit, almost fell in, but with the sheer luck, they were able to pull out. As I'm draining their luck away, as their luck is being drained away, another one went to the well and peered inside, and what do you know? Their willpower was attacked, and the person jumped in, but someone tried to grab him, but it was just not lucky enough to grab them and didn't have the strength and agility to do that. But the one last attempt to grab the chain, as the person was falling, hit his head or whatever, came to grab a chain and pulled himself out. So luck was being expended through all of this. And eventually they made it to a ruined room with the fountain, right? It's full of skeletons. The skeletons were fine, but the fountain was full of an ooze, and they had to battle this ooze. And eventually, that was hilarity. They chucked a piece of wood at it. It did a little damage. They chucked a bag of flour, which missed. Well, fortunately, missed. We had to look up. It was interesting. In Dungeon Crawl Classics, when you shoot ranged weapon into melee, and you miss, there's a 50% chance that you actually hit someone else in that melee. So we rolled for that. We did miss everyone, but this bag of flour that our miller had exploded on the side of the fountain. That was kind of fun. Ultimately, we killed the ooze, and they gained all the items from that room, the censer and all these other items, the mysterious powders, and they moved into the tower door in the keep. And this is where things went south, right? We moved much of the party in. My players are pretty savvy, though. They mostly moved their henchmen in. Well, they stayed back. So they went in there. Now, the player characters are all level 1. Those 5 are all level 1. Everyone else was level 0 characters. Just in case someone died, they had backups. But they go in, and those monsters waiting in the shadows waited until everyone was in there. And then from above, they started chucking spears at them. And I made them all make another reflex save to take half damage of a spear as these spears kept raining down until the beastmen were out. And that's when we killed, I think, 6 players, six level 0 characters from the party. And at the end of that, that's pretty much where we ended our night with these 6 of them dead, and we will start next week. So next Thursday, when we do the second part of Sailors Under the Starless Fleet, that would be April 6th. We will see what happens. What will the rest of them survive? They've come to a door they haven't opened yet. Will they be able to open it? Will they be able to escape before any other beastmen find them? We'll have to find out. Players, I hope you're liking it. We're starting, and hey, it's rough and tumble. We're all learning together, and I think we're having fun. But let me know how you're liking it so far, and do you think we'll survive this keep? And what is in this door? Where does it go? Will we find the rest of the townsfolk? And what has happened to them? We'll find all that out and more next week on Dave's Imaginations Presents a Dungeon Crawl Classic, Sails Under the Starless Sea. So that'll be next week. Until then, take care.
Oh, oh, echoes of eternity. Whoa, 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 Valhalla calling me. Whoa, to pluck the strings of destiny. Whoa, 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 Valhalla calling me. Valhalla calling me. First of all, that was awesome.
You killed it.
Oh, okay. Post-credit scene. So, if you actually watch our live video from Thursday, March 30th, 3 minutes in, we do our normal intro scene. It's fun. It's based off a song by Anastasia, violin cover of Valhalla Calling Me. It's the second song by Miracle of Sound's 13th album. It was inspired some Assassin's Creed video game. So I pulled that. You've been using that as the music inspired as part of this Valhalla's Calling Me to battle and vigor and all this fun stuff. It's a great song. And so I got the words. I found the ukulele chords. I taught myself how to play this on the ukulele. And last night I challenged my team to sing it. And I thought I might sing the whole thing because, we're going to be great. We just tried the chord. And so at 3 minutes in, you go watch that live as it happens into the live show. But I pulled that music as we sung it, and I placed it in our intro video as our outro video as it is, and put it in there. I don't know. I'll do that every time, but we'll see. maybe there's popular demand. Maybe people will like it. Maybe it'll be popular. I don't know. If it is, maybe I'll keep it. We'll have to see. But I had so much fun. It makes me laugh so hard, so hard. Share it with your friends. If you like old people, old bunch of guys who can't hold a tune, just singing with their heart, singing. If you find that endearing and fun and happy, and then watch it and enjoy. I do. So thanks for sticking on for this post-credit scene. We'll see you next time. Bye.